All right, good morning, everyone. Today we are going to go through a series of slides to help you get set up to use an effective account. Glad to see you all today. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get an email from our platform provider with a link in it to enable and create your own profile and your own account that will allow you to make calls and schedule calls as well. This link is only valid for 24 hours. If you happen to miss that 24 hours, one of us will have to resend the invite, but we can certainly do that if you do. The link is going to take you to a web page, and it's going to ask you to enable your account by creating a password. Your username will be your email address, and then you will set the password. Once you've done that, you will be logged into a web page that is your own account. You'll receive a PIN during that to make calls via the phone. You do not need the PIN to make calls either via the website or via the app. So once you've enabled your account, you're pretty much ready to go to use the system. The next thing that I would usually recommend is if you have either an iPhone or a Google phone, you can go to either App Store and download the app for this, and it's called Interpret Manager. You'll see that in the lower part of this screen, and the icon that it looks like for both Google Play and the Apple App Store is down in the very bottom of the screen. Once you've downloaded the app, you would use your username and password to log into the app, and then you can proceed to make either voice or video calls from the app itself. There's a couple methods for connecting. One is over the phone, and it's via toll-free number that's listed here. And the toll-free number, once you call it, it will ask you for your PIN. And this is the only time you will be asked to provide your PIN to make a call. An IVR system, interactive voice response system, will guide you through. If there are any questions that your department or your have set up to collect information, that information will be collected by the interpreter. So what it will ask you to do is to say verbally or via touchpad on the phone, ask you for the language that you're looking for. To do video remote, you need either to log on to the web page, or you can do video via the app as well on your phone or your iPad or any other tablet that has that app available to it. To do it on your computer or your laptop, you definitely need to use Firefox or Chrome. We recommend Chrome. Either the website isn't fully functional in Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer, so please use Chrome. If Chrome isn't your current preferred browser, I would talk to your IT department or tech support to see if they can enable it to be the preferred browser, so that when you go to this page, Chrome opens up automatically. This is the web link to get to that account, and I'll show it to you live in a few minutes. American Sign Language, if you happen to need ASL, is only available via the app or on your laptop. There are cards for individual use that I've provided to your directors, and these cards are just a quick run through of how to make a video call, and also it allows you to write your PIN down. And if you happen to forget your PIN, there is a way that you can find your PIN on the web page, and I will actually show you that in a minute. But it's not completely lost. The only thing that I can't do for you is provide you with your password. Would have to do an account reset. There is also the option, if you've forgotten your password, to to click on forgot password as you try to log in, and it will allow you to create a new password. When you do connect via the web, this is the page that comes up. And again, here is the link to get you into the website. Once it does come up, you'll come up to a dashboard. And I just want to make note right now of a little icon in the upper right-hand corner of that screen that looks like a phone. If you click on that, it'll open a soft phone. As you see here, this soft phone is what allows you to actually make calls, either voice or video, from the web page itself. The first time you use it, it will ask you to enable your mic and your camera. Just click yes to both boxes, and you should be good to go. If you happen to be using the app, I'm going to run you through some screens to show you kind of what the app looks like. The first picture on the left is when the app first boots, and you enter your username and password and do sign in. The first page that comes up is the quick dial. There, you'll notice there are 3 tabs across the top: quick dial, on demand, and scheduled. Quick dial is what was set up for the overall account as your top 5 or top 10 languages, and allows you to quickly get to one of these languages without having to do anything else. So if one of the languages you need is in the quick dials, you can certainly do a voice or video call right from the quick dial screen. The middle screen shows you if you need another language. There are 2 boxes in the lower part of the screen. One is language 2, the other is service type. So if you click on the language 2 box, it'll change to the 4th picture. It is an auto sort feature. So if you just start typing in the language, it'll auto sort down to the language that you need. In this case, I was doing Spanish. Once you see the language that you need, you can click on it and it will populate that box. The box underneath it is service type, and this gives the interpreter an idea of the kind of call that they're coming into. I'll show it to you live in a minute, but service type is most important for medical and legal calls. If you put medical or legal in that box, the system will route to a medically certified or a legally certified interpreter. Otherwise, it gives the interpreter an idea of the type of call, and there's a whole list there, which I'll show you in a minute. The next thing you can do via the web is to schedule an appointment ahead of time. Some rules of note to keep in mind here. Spanish, we're asking for 24 hours advance to schedule a Spanish call. And if you need another language or a rare language, 48 to 72 hours. And my definition of a rare language is if you can't spell it or you can't pronounce it, it's probably a rare language. And I would go ahead and try to pre-schedule. Also, although ASL is available on demand, it is best to try to schedule those calls in advance. ASL interpreters are in very high demand, and it will assure you and confirm an ASL interpreter will be available when you need it. I'm going to show you this live in a minute, but just wanted you to see what the screen looks like. To create an appointment, you would just click on create an appointment, and the screen will change to some information that you need to fill out to go ahead and create the appointment. The last screen here are just some training videos that we've done in the past, how to place a voice call, how to place a video remote call, and also how to schedule a video remote call. If you need them, they're available 24/7, and it will give you an idea if you need a refresher. Okay, I'm going to change screens here and show you live. Okay, when you do log in to the web page, like I said, the first thing that comes up is this dashboard. This happens to be mine. So it's got a lot more information than yours probably would. If you click on configuration at the lower left part of the screen, it will give you the ability to change your profile, add an address, a phone number, etc. And also you would be able to see your PIN. We're going to focus on appointments here. So if you click on the appointment screen, I have this set up. As you see, you have 4 different choices for how you want to see the information: today, by the day, by the week, or by the month. I like to look at it by the month. If you look at it by the month, the first thing that you're going to notice is any appointments that you have put up that are in progress, that are scheduled, are waiting for confirmation from interpreters, or that you've canceled, will show up on this calendar, and they will be marked by a different color. And it kind of gives you an idea of where you are in the process of scheduling appointments. You can also certainly sort them by some of the different parameters here you'll see in the lower right part of the left screen. So what I'm going to do is create an appointment. Once you create an appointment, another window opens up. Anything you see with a red asterisk is something that you absolutely have to fill out in order for the appointment to go through. The rest of the information is just optional. So you can put as little or as much as you want, but the ones with red asterisks you do have to fill out. So because this is my screen, for under accounts, it has a whole list here, but I'm just going to choose one. Yours would be pre-populated, and also under requester it would have your name, so you don't have to worry about that. Subject, you can put the subject if you want, and under description. So now if you're going to do a Zoom meeting or a Google meeting or a Cisco WebEx, you're going to want to put the link to that meeting in the description. So that way the interpreter will know to join via the link and not through the platform. So that's very important if you're doing a Zoom call. Language, to and from. When you click on the language to, it auto sorts. If I start typing it in, you see Spanish. Here's that service delivery type. You can see there's a wide range of selection here, everything from business to legal to medical. Just choose the most appropriate service type. The next thing that's very, very important is the communication type. So when you click on that box, you have on-site consecutive, on-site simultaneous, scheduled telephonic, video remote, and third party. On-site simultaneous is a type of meeting that you will have to reach out to one of my colleagues for. It can't really be scheduled. And just to give you a quick definition, consecutive interpretation is a cadence interpretation where you speak, the interpreter speaks, the client or patient speaks, and then you go back and forth between the 3 of you. Simultaneous is more like, think of the UN, where there's a speaker at a podium, everyone in the audience has headphones on, and they're listening in real time to an interpreter interpreting whatever the speaker is saying. So it's not really something that you're going to be using a lot. Most all interpretation that you're going to be using, whether it's video or just voice, is going to be consecutive. If you want to schedule just a phone call, click schedule telephonic. Video interpreting. If you're going to do a third-party call, such as a Zoom call, you want to click on third party, and again, put the link to that meeting in the description box. One thing that I'm going to show you is if you happen to want to schedule a video remote call, once you click video interpreting, you'll notice another box pops up up here, and it's the invite list. You can have 4 people on a video remote call, so you and the interpreter and 2 others. So if that 3rd or 4th person are not going to be in the office with you or in the hospital with you, you're going to want to add them. If you have their email address and or their phone number, you put their name in, their email address. If it's by phone, you just have to enter their phone number, and you would click add, and it will add that to the list here. So what happens is when this call gets scheduled, they will receive either an email or a text or both, depending on what you put down, with the link for them to join the meeting. And this is important for them to be able to join. They don't need any particular software to do so. It'll open up in whatever browsers on their phone or their tablet or on their computer, and it should work just fine. That's only for scheduled video interpreting. The next box that isn't asterisk that I do like to point out here is gender. If you click on the gender box, you see female only, female preferred, male only, or male preferred, or no preference. No preference is selected just automatically, but there may be situations where you have some cultural challenges. For example, some Middle Eastern men don't like to talk to female interpreters. In this case, you would prefer a male interpreter. You put down male only or male preferred, and when the call is scheduled, they will route only to male interpreters available. If you have a sensitive situation where a female client or patient may prefer talking to a female interpreter, again, you would pick female only or female preferred, and that assures you the right kind of interpreter. The next thing is, if you have selected third-party platform, it's really important to do I apologize, for on-site consecutive. You want to put down the location, and you'll see that location, as soon as you select on-site, the location is asterisk. So you want to make sure you put where the interpreter needs to go to if you're bringing an interpreter on site. Once you've entered the location, you have the ability with this little icon over here to save that location. So if you happen to have the need for an interpreter to come up to that location again, you can just, you'll be able to see it in a drop down, and you won't have to retype it every time. Save to locations for account right here. All right, date and time. Once you click on date, a calendar opens up and you want to select a date. It'll auto select your particular time zones. That's not something you have to worry about. Start time. You want to put a start time, AM, PM. It's going to auto set a duration of 2 hours. In most cases for on-site meetings, there is a 2-hour minimum. So regardless of whether the meeting goes for 20 minutes, you're going to get charged for 2 hours because the interpreter is going to get paid for 2 hours. So there is, depending on your contract, a 1 to 2 hour minimum. In most cases, it is 2 hours. So for any other kind of call, once an interpreter is scheduled, they are kind of blocked out for that period of time. So my recommendation is, if you're doing a video remote or a phone call, you might want to back this down to a time that's more closely associated with the amount of time you think your meeting will go. If the meeting goes over, if you select 30 minutes, if it goes over, the interpreter will stay on and you'll just get charged for the additional minutes. However, if you have put 2 hours, that interpreter is blocked off for 2 hours, and they're going to get paid for 2 hours worth of time, even if the call only goes for 5 minutes. So just something to keep in mind. Another really handy feature is, if you're scheduling a third-party call and you know that this is going to be a once a week, bi-weekly, once a month call with the same person, you can actually set up occurrence to daily, weekly, or monthly. And what happens is when they schedule this call, it will schedule the same interpreter for each call. That's really good for continuity of conversation. The interpreter already knows the client, and it makes it a much easier call after that. So once you've completed all of this, you would click save. It will go to our director of interpreter operations and then out to the group of interpreters. As soon as they get confirmation that your appointment has been scheduled, you will get confirmation. You'll also see it on your calendar. I'm going to cancel this because I don't want this to go out. Another feature is if for some reason, once a call is scheduled, if you hadn't provided the link to, say, a Zoom meeting, or there's a file that you want the interpreter to be able to reference, if you click on the meeting and it'll ask you if you want to open it, it will open that appointment and you will be able to either cancel it, you can add a file to it, you can amend it, and then click on update, and it will allow you to do that once the thing is scheduled. And I believe that it'll actually even allow you to do that when it's in progress as well. I'm going to go back to the dashboard real quick. I'm going to click on this little phone here just to show you what the soft phone looks like. And this will show you all of your scheduled calls that you can actually make directly from the soft phone on your computer, or you can make an on-demand call. So that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And that really is kind of the nuts and bolts of this. Are there any questions? We'll take questions right now. And we thank you for your time.
Thank you.